Now, as we wait for a date for this year's federal election, the opposition's summer campaign blitz is starting to sound curiously familiar. So is Dutton playing his trump card?
I'm also very pleased today to announce the important role of Shadow Minister for Government Efficiency.
Enter SMOGE, Peter Dutton's newly unveiled shadow ministry. Sound familiar?
The new Department of Government Efficiency.
While DOGE, US President Donald Trump's new body, is led by Trump's BFF Elon,
We're going to take DOGE to Mars.
SMOGE will be headed by Dutton's secret weapons, Senator Jacinta Numpajimpa-Price.
Who has done an amazing body of work, as I say, a fantastic job.
How awesome!
The point of both SMOGE and DOGE? Slashing federal spending.
There's a lot of waste.
Your money is being wasted.
$6 billion a year spent on 36,000 new public servants in Canberra.
It'll slash the waste in our bloated federal bureaucracy.
The comparisons came thick and fast.
Is this just copying what Donald Trump has done?
And the similarities don't stop there.
We're going to stop woke. Woke is bullshit.
People are happy to treat everyone equally but got sick of the woke agenda.
We can't help but draw comparisons between your campaign
Let's get Australia back on track.
and Donald Trump's.
Make America great again.
I think there are some pretty basic principles that are around that are shared across countries and communities.
But there are points of difference.
There are only two genders, male and female.
We don't have any plans to change our position in relation to that issue.
I'm immediately withdrawing from the unfair, one-sided Paris Climate Accord ripoff.
I think we've been pretty firm in our commitment to net zero by 2050, and that's a commitment that we will honour.
So with a federal election looming and a new poll showing the majority of Aussies expect a coalition win, is Dutton digging into Trump's election playbook?
Are you better off today than you were when Mr Albanese was first elected?
Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?
Well, News.com.au's political editor Sam Maiden is with us now. Sam, is Peter Dutton channeling Donald Trump just a teensy bit here?
Look, I mean, I think that he thinks that there's a vibe shift, for want of a better, more technical term, and he has spoken about this idea that the rise of this sort of anti-woke stuff, and that there is sort of a bit more freedom to talk about this sort of stuff. But I think there's a lot of differences. I mean, like you said in the package, he is still going to go for, the Paris Agreement at this stage, at least. There's obviously people within the coalition that would like to dump that. He was very quick to, shut down the debate over abortion when that started to bubble away in Queensland, basically saying we're not going to have a big debate about that. So, I mean, by and large, I think that they are simpatico, but I don't think that Peter Dutton is a Donald Trump kind of character. I think he's a lot more straighty 180 and a bit more boring than that.
Well, he's clearly not copying Trump wholesale, and there are very clear differences. What's interesting to me, though, is that when he is doing it, like with this government efficiency shadow ministry, it's really overt. It's not hiding it, there's not camouflage, it's very clear. What do you think the strategy is in doing it when he does choose to do it that way?
Well, it depends on where you look at it, right? Because, I mean, the coalition has long talked about this sort of government efficiency stuff. They've been talking about it going back to Tony Abbott. I get your point that, the acronym sounds the same. But, I mean, this is core business for the coalition, right? They want smaller government and, they want things to, be basically, tightened up. I think that, it's interesting, two things that Dutton is doing. One is this stuff with the flag and saying that he's not going to display an Aboriginal flag, having this whole one Australia under one flag thing. That's a bit Trumpy. And also, I think that the stuff that he talked about recently on the Mark Boris podcast, basically suggesting that young men feel like they're being painted as ogres, they're missing out on promotion because they're not Sheilas. I think it's really interesting that he's opening that conversation up, and a bit risky as well, because the coalition, traditionally, some people have tried to suggest that, they've got a bit of a problem with women voters.
Sam, the polls are going downhill for Anthony Albanese. News poll out today saying more people think Peter Dutton will win than don't. What do you think?
Well, I think that what's interesting about that poll is it could be a clue of how the undecideds are going to break. But there is a contradiction at the heart of that poll, which is that a majority of people, I think it's 53 to 47, think Peter Dutton is going to win. But on the two-party preferred basis, like when people actually put down how they're going to vote, at this stage he's well short of the number of seats he needs to win. So he needs to win about 18 seats to form majority government. Obviously, it would be a bit less to form minority government, but the poll only has him winning, depending on the size of the swing, somewhere between 7 seats and 13 seats. Now, that's well short of 18. So it could be that the fact that people are saying he's going to win is a bit of a clue as to where the polls are going, and it's going to get worse for Anthony Albanese. But at this stage, there's a disconnect between who people think is going to win and how they're actually telling the pollsters they're going to vote.
Maybe it'll come down to the way he dances. Sam, thanks for your time.
Thank you.